Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to NoDQ video here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRift.NoDQ. I have your questions from twitter.com/AaronRift using the hashtag NoDQvideo. Let's go ahead and get started with the first question today that comes from Chris Cahill. With the new promotion rumors with Cody, Chris Jericho, Jim Ross, and so forth, and with a potential TV deal in place, could this be the new WCW to compete with WWE? That has been the question that a lot of people have been asking. Could this finally be the promotion that rises up to be a clear number two that could even potentially compete with WWE? Now, let me just say for the record, it's going to be an uphill battle. It is going to take a lot for any promotion to be able to compete with WWE at that level. The WWE brand name is so strong. WWE has such a grasp on the entire marketplace that it is going to be a very uphill battle for any promotion to even come close to competing with WWE. Now, All Elite Wrestling, the people involved. Now, you have Chris Jericho and Jim Ross that have pretty much downplayed any involvement with it, but the other key players, Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, the names that have been rumored, they had a home run with All In. So the question is, can they keep that momentum going? The answer is only time will tell, and they certainly have the talent and the ability, but will they be able to actually keep that momentum sustained? That remains to be seen. And speaking of this promotion from Chris Dosky, with rumors swirling about Jericho and Jim Ross starting a new promotion, how big of a threat could they be to WWE? I think it could benefit WWE in the long run if this catches a lot of viewers' attention, if they have intriguing storylines. It could benefit WWE, but keep in mind that even when TNA got somewhat competitive, and really they never got to that level, when TNA tried to go on Monday nights, WWE really did not do much to compete. They more or less did the same product that they were doing. They did bring back Bret Hart on that first head-to-head night, but other than that, it was really just business as usual in WWE, and I don't think they ever really took TNA seriously as a threat. So again, it's going to take a while. It could take years for All Elite Wrestling to really build enough momentum to where they could be a serious threat to WWE. But again, WWE just controls the marketplace so much. All In was a big success, but that was one show. Can they do that on a regular basis? Can they tour and draw those big crowds? That's not going to happen overnight. They're going to need to build a reputation and continue to build momentum and gain casual fans. Maybe one day, but if they even come close, WWE is going to start shelling out the big bucks to sign away guys like the Young Bucks and other people and keep them away from the competition. If they even consider it competition, which it's going to take a lot, like I said. Got this one here from Paul Jackson, my boy with the Freddie Mercury avatar. Happy Thanksgiving and happy 20th anniversary NoDQ. What do you think the plans may be for Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles going into WrestleMania 35? Well, I did touch upon this last week, and I will just say this. It's really hard to predict now because a whole monkey wrench was thrown into all the plans going into WrestleMania with Roman Reigns getting sick and then Becky Lynch getting hurt and WWE just taking things in a different direction creatively. Any number of things can happen. My gut feeling was Daniel Bryan was either facing AJ Styles or The Miz at WrestleMania, but now that looks to be out the window unless The Miz goes babyface or WWE drags out the AJ Styles feud to WrestleMania. They could end up having completely different directions for WrestleMania. Maybe AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, a fresh match we haven't really seen before. And somebody did bring this up recently. Maybe Rey Mysterio faces Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, just doing something different that we haven't seen before. I could definitely see those two matches being possibilities for WrestleMania. Got this one here from Dave. If the rumors of Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania are true, then what do you see for Ambrose? I was certain the payoff for the feud was happening at WrestleMania 35. As did I. Very valid question. It does look like WWE's pulling the trigger on Ambrose and Rollins now, but they could still end up fighting at WrestleMania. Some might argue that Ambrose and Rollins is the best choice. Some might argue that Rollins should be facing Lesnar at WrestleMania. You could have a repeat of like Steve Austin versus Bret Hart where they fought at Survivor Series, and in this case it would be Ambrose and Rollins at TLC, and you could keep the feud going into WrestleMania and then do the big blow-off match at WrestleMania. That is a possibility, or WWE may just blow through this angle, which would not shock me knowing WWE. And where would Ambrose go? Maybe Finn Balor? I mean, I'm trying to think of upper tier baby faces that Ambrose could feud with. Balor might be the guy. I could see that being a possibility. Maybe Ambrose wins the IC title and faces Balor, or WWE does some sort of multi-man match like they always seem to do with the mid-card title. I mean, there's any number of things, but yeah, if Rollins is facing Lesnar, I would see Ambrose moving down the card a little bit, which sucks, but yeah, that's what I would expect to happen. Got this one here from the See Me Rollins. Could we see Drew McIntyre winning the Royal Rumble and facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 35? If it's not Seth Rollins, then yeah, Drew McIntyre seems like the guy to go with. The question is, will WWE pull the trigger on him this soon? It feels like he has a lot of momentum coming off what happened to Kurt Angle a few weeks ago. However, you just don't know in the world of WWE. Will they actually go through with the push and put Drew McIntyre in a main event spot at WrestleMania? It would certainly help him, and WWE could make a new star if Drew McIntyre was the guy to run Lesnar out of WWE, but I'll believe it when I see it as far as Lesnar putting over somebody at WrestleMania. Every time I predict it, it doesn't happen. So right off the bat, right now, here as we head into the end of the year, I'm just going to say Brock Lesnar wins at WrestleMania. Screw it. He's going to win, and it's just going to be the never-ending cycle, it seems, of Lesnar just staying in WWE and sticking around and being the part-time champion. I mean, whatever. But yeah, I think Drew beating Lesnar and getting that rub would be awesome. Don't know if it's going to happen, though. I certainly would not get my hopes up. And I got this question, and for some reason I do not have the avatar, so I apologize. Hey Aaron, what are your thoughts on NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool on January 12th, 2009? I think it's cool for fans of NXT UK, so for Stefan and General Jerry, I'm happy for you guys. I'm sure you guys will enjoy the show. I will probably watch it. However, I am burned out. I feel it's too much content. I don't even watch regular NXT as it is, besides the takeovers. So yeah, it's just yet another show I have to watch, and I may enjoy it. I'm sure I'll enjoy it to some degree, but I really don't have that much emotional investment in it, just because of the fact that there's too much television. I'm already invested in watching Raw, SmackDown, the main roster stuff, and the TakeOver pay-per-views. And for me, personally, that's enough. That's all I really want to be watching and covering at this point. But I am very thankful for guys like Stefan and Jerry that are keeping up with it and reviewing it for NoDQ. So I will watch it, but yeah, I think it's too much. I think it's a bit overkill. Got this one here from King Turbonius. Any chance of Hulk Hogan returning as a GM in the future for either Raw or SmackDown? Well, there's always a chance. So I'm sure somewhere out there, Lord Christmas is happy about that. But I think it is a very small chance. I think WWE will use Hulk Hogan every now and then for a publicity, public appearance type thing, but I don't see him being a regular on television again. I think if he came back and was on TV every week, that would just open the floodgates for people to create negativity and make a big deal out of it, criticize the decision. I think it's best off just to use Hulk Hogan in small doses at this point. And the other problem, not just Hogan's personal life, but the fact is, if Hogan comes back, he's Hulk Hogan. And I feel like he's going to tend to outshine the current guys. So I don't even know if it's a good idea for that reason. Just because Hogan being there, the attention will be drawn towards him. And even in a limited role, Hogan cannot help himself. He's got to go out there and do the posing and playing to the crowd and all that stuff. And that was the problem with Hogan being the GM of Impact Wrestling, because it became the Hulk Hogan show. Hulk Hogan took the spotlight, basically, whether it was intentional or not, from the other talents, and it did nothing to help the Impact brand in the long run. Got this one here from Clayton Williams. Do you think that Kofi Kingston will get a main event spot in 2019 like in SummerSlam time? I get this question every now and then about Kofi and the New Day members. I don't think so. I think as much as I'm tired of New Day and how stale the act has gotten, let's face it, New Day works well together and they're best off being together. If they split, the fear is that they're all going to get lost in the shuffle, especially Kofi and Xavier. Big E might stand out on his own, but I think their legacy is going to be as a group. And I think their strength is as a group. I think they're better off together than separate. So to answer your question, probably not. This one comes from Zomygod Ruler. Since WWE is a publicly traded company, is it possible somebody could buy WWE? Yes, it's always possible, and there have been rumors like Disney possibly stepping in and buying WWE. However, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Vince is very happy with his current situation. He's spent his life building his brand, and I just don't see him selling. I think Vince wants to be in charge, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. I think that's his attitude, and he's going to keep doing what he's doing. He's making money. He's successful. I just don't see Vince giving it up to anybody, losing any kind of power. What has made WWE successful for so long is the fact that it has been more or less a family business. Yes, it is a big corporation, but the buck stops with Vince. He's still the guy in charge, and I don't see him doing anything where he might lose some of that power and have more people that are answered to. I would think it's unlikely. I would not rule it out, especially once Triple H and Stephanie get in charge. But for now, I think it's highly unlikely in all likelihood. And I got this one here from Reverend Cruddies. Has 2018 been the year with the most low blows in WWE history? Well, that is an interesting question. I don't know the actual number. I don't count the low blows, but I think it's up there. I do remember like 97 and 98. See, I remember Chyna's gimmick being all about the low blows. So maybe 97 or 98 or 99, because Chyna was delivering a lot of those low blows, and that kind of became her calling card. I think she hit it quite a few times in 98. I remember SummerSlam specifically hitting The Rock in his People's Jewels and later his Corporate Jewels. Rock got it several times from Chyna, and a lot of people got it. I think WWE even did a video package with Jim Ross yelling out, "Chyna downstairs," and showing it like various people that she was giving the low blow to. So I just seem to remember that Chyna did it a lot. So besides 97, 98, 99, then yeah, 2018 would probably be the top year for low blows. Just what people seem to remember. And, that whole Nakamura AJ storyline was essentially built around low blows. That will do it for this edition of NoDQ Video. I would like to thank you all very much for your support of NoDQ. Please continue to spread the word, tell a friend, share a link to this video on social media, your Facebook, your Twitter, share it on Reddit, share it with anybody you know who watches wrestling. Even if they're just a casual fan, they may enjoy this video. They might find it insightful. So whatever you can do, it goes a long way. And subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I got for this edition of NoDQ Video. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest wrestling news and rumors. Vote in the 2018 NoDQ.com Year-End Awards, and I will see you guys next time.